Hey, and welcome to NUFC Talk. Thank you for downloading, subscribing. You're joined with myself, Glen, and I'm joined with my faithful friend Jan.
How are you, Glen?
Mate, really good, really good.
I feel like you want to do like an intro to this bit because we've already done that first pod. It feels like this is like, how are you? I've been set up like an hour and a half.
Yeah, so anyone who's just downloaded and subscribed for the first time, you might have come across our other podcast. We do a full Premier League one called Dad FC Pod, and we love the tune. We are Newcastle supporters. And Jan said, hey, why don't we talk more about Newcastle? And I was like, that's a great idea. And he said, why don't we do a Newcastle pod? And then here we are. So we're on YouTube, NUFC Talk.
Yeah.
Twitter's the one where we talk Newcastle the most, so you can catch me. I'm Glen_NUFC.
And I'm Yanis, NUFC.
Pretty straightforward, right? So yeah, come and catch us on Newcastle banter on NUFC Talk pod. Yeah. So that's got all the social medias covered. And if you haven't already, make sure you press and subscribe on this channel, because the next bunch of games we want to do some live watch-alongs as well. So we'd love you to come and join us, and also make sure you're subscribing and watching us every week. So the game, mate, because we've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. The game's almost the thing I don't want to talk about. It was just
the game was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, the game was just a bit blah.
Let's just breeze over that.
So we got beat anyway. So go on then. So what? For me, I know we've chatted to some people on Twitter already, but I think this was a bad game played by two teams that just couldn't get any momentum going.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, at the start, first of all, were you glad to see the starting lineup?
Well, we spoke with your listeners every week. We predicted there was going to be some rotation. Hasn't been much to read if there's been like the injuries, etc. So I wasn't sure.
Miggy was probably the surprising one.
Yeah, I was going to say that. We had Dubravka, and then in the back we had Kraft, we had Shah captain.
Yeah, nice for him that.
Yeah, Burn target, and then the middle three was Bruno, Willock, and even got he's just down as GL7 now.
GL7, yeah.
Joe Linton 7. Yeah, Miggy, he was maybe a surprise, because I think Murphy's been playing well, but
yeah,
there is a lot of games being coming up, so there's going to be rotation. But then you think, look, they've got a big break at the moment. Could he just go there for one more? Because with the form Everton's been on, a lot of Newcastle fans, we predicting to win. Like we put a poll on Twitter, and it was something like 75% of people thought Newcastle were going to win this game. And
we did say though, the one thing with Everton is this is at Goodison, and they are better at Goodison. As much as they haven't been great under Lampard, or great in general since the first maybe 5 or 6 games of the season, they've been better at home. They're a difficult prospect at home. They seem to get turned over away from home more.
But us travelling away, we've been decent. Like, we give Chelsea a game, we obviously won at Southampton. Like, we won at Ellen Road as well. Like, I think this was the first time we looked tired, and like, I know we have been playing like relentlessly, and like we obviously went a huge run. The Chelsea game we played really well, but this is the first time I thought, as a group and as a team, I thought we did look a little bit tired.
But see, I thought the first half there wasn't much in it. It was pretty even the first half, but I thought Newcastle was the better side.
Newcastle a few weeks ago, we should have won that game though. With like full team, like Brentford away as well. Forgot that one. Like, if we had a full squad, everyone fit and ready, we should have easily won that game.
But they can probably say the same. They've had players come. Well, they've only had Calvert-Lewin sort of coming back from injury and players like that. Yeah, so I don't know.
So overall, I think this was definitely at least a point dropped with, and
no, I agree. I agree.
In a relegation battle as well, that's a big 3 points for Everton when they're still below. So I know some people say that Newcastle's safe now, but I think that's the worst thing to do until we get to that sort of 35, 36 point mark. Then you can start breathe a little bit. So there's still 5 points to find.
Do you know what I from this game? I thought the first half was pretty even. I thought we shaded it. We were probably the better side in the first half.
Yeah, I agree.
Then that numpty zip ties himself for the goalpost, and we forget how to play football there.
I know, yeah, that's yeah.
He did, so as soon as he did that, there was a lengthy sort of break, and we couldn't get, because it was a Newcastle corner as well. So we were in the ascendancy during that period, and then we just couldn't get going like at that point, and any momentum. The game became very stop-start. and I don't think we were like massively under the pump.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's like a team at home attacks a couple of times and the crowd get up front, mad up front, as if they're all over you, but they're not really. It's just like hoof the ball and they're in.
Everton fans, they were like massively up for it at the start of the game, and fair play to them. The atmosphere was really good for the first. Definitely the start until Newcastle managed to calm it down and take control of the game.
Yeah.
One thing I learned from the game is Gordon, who plays for them.
Aye.
Crafty little player, but he's easy to
dislike.
Yeah, he's easy to dislike. I'm sure if he's on your team, he's the type of player that you'd want, like, because he was flying. Him and Fraser went in for a huge 50-50, and he was one of the ones that was getting like the pulses racing at the start. So from an Everton fan, you're going to love him on your team, but playing against him, it's easy to hate him.
I mean, that's a dislike. You said hate, but no, yeah, I
you
get
know
that.
What I mean? Like almost like a Joey Barton type player. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying like the same, like
semi-diving for like an attempted pen and that, and just like he runs off across the pitch to get involved and stuff, pushing people and that. He's just
and obviously Joey Barton would twat him all over, but you know what I mean. Like in terms, it's easy to.
Joey Barton's a ledge.
Yeah.
One other bad word to say about Joey. Yeah, I get that. And then, but after that guy zip tied himself, which by the way, how funny was watching like 64 people.
Oh,
and have you seen the video? I don't know if anyone's seen the video of the guy that is like in the crowd and just jumps out with a knife, and he's just like, yeah, why don't you have this knife?
I know, like what on earth, and then there's.
I did think there must be a few Stanley bits kicking around. It's Newcastle. Liverpool, sorry.
There's endless memes going on with the guy in the background with the big knife. Like trying to,
so unfortunate.
It must be the biggest set of pincers, snips, whatever, like
bowl cutters. Bowl cutters, like industrial bowl cutters. I was like,
yeah, and then but you couldn't write that. It was just so comical how it took so long to cut a freaking zip tie off someone.
One zip tie, but after that, Newcastle just we really didn't get a foot in the ball again at all.
Not at all.
We really stopped playing. Bruno looked really good first half. That's one thing I'd like to say. He looked good for like 60 minutes, but I wouldn't say he went missing. But we just started to lose a bit of just a foothold in the game, really.
So our substitutes, we went for ASM came on for Miggy at 71. Murphy came on for Fraser at 85, and then Mankio came on for Kraft in injury time. Do you think we should try and change around a little bit sooner, or what?
I think after the break, maybe he's giving it that 10-15 minutes, and then I don't know. Potentially, I think he's. Do you think Miggy's been rewarded with a decent performance at Chelsea with a?
But then
it's a weekend right side that mind, isn't it? Miggy and
Kraft.
And Kraft, versus what it could have been like Mankio and Murphy and Mankio and like Fraser with ASM on the other side. It certainly feels weaker that to me.
I know it. Yeah.
Everyone wants Miggy to do well.
Yeah, you do. But
you really do want him to do well, but he's
if he was sold in the summer, I don't think
he lacks the quality, doesn't he?
You'd imagine Newcastle, we stay up, which we're all pretty confident of. I'm not there 100%, but pretty confident we stay up. You'd expect us to go and spend big again in the summer, strengthen the squad, and I don't think we'd sell Miggy, but if he's going to be one of them players that comes in on rotation, plays the odd cup game, I don't think he's got a part to play. To be honest, maybe one more season as a fringe player, but after that, I can't see him doing much.
Yeah,
he's one of the players that you'd like. He tries hard, like you said, you want to see him, but he's just.
What do you think of ASM's performance when he came on? So
I've got this in my notes I was going to talk about at the end, and we'll mention it now why I bring it up. A lot of people saying that Newcastle fans, we win together, we lose together, all this jazz, and some people jumping on Twitter saying, they're looking for a scapegoat, looking to blame somebody.
Yeah. And
I don't think ASM was at his top performance. I'm not blaming him. I just we chatted about this before. He just wasn't playing top of his game. He's not to blame for the loss. It was just a conversation that a lot of people have been having. Some people jump on it, ASM's to blame for the loss. Like, not at all. We lost as a team.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's playing to the peak of his ability right now. And yes, he's come back from injury as well. So
he's come back from injury. And I think he really struggles to make an impact in the game when he comes off the bench. Yeah. He generally does. I think I can only remember, was it maybe Burnley, like last season, somebody came on at half time and like changed the game.
The only thing which
he really does struggle to make an impact in games, like because his job in the game is to get the ball and attack. Like regardless of whether people say he should pass the ball more, he should get his head up more. His ability is to get to move the ball up the pitch, is to run at pace, commit players, create less space, go around people, create chances. That's what his game is. So when he comes on, he's got, in this case, 19 minutes or plus like 10 minutes of injury time. Yeah. So he's got half an hour in order to impact. So he's probably feels like he's got to cram that into his game a little bit more.
So the one thing which we disagree on, if you've listened to us last week, ASM on talent is our best player. Like on natural talent, ability to run with the ball. I just don't think he fits into the game plan Eddie Howe sets out there. And the last few games where he's been injured, you could see the press worked really well, and he doesn't necessarily always fit into that as well. But in terms of running, there was a stat came out I read this week. He's carried the ball more meters than anyone else in the Premier League.
Yeah, and he'd done that ages ago. But obviously now that he hasn't played for like 4 games really, so they'll still be up there. But
so if any Newcastle fans are blaming St Maximin, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, like he just doesn't fit in with the game plan. But it's not his fault. Do you know what I mean?
I do get that. I think the press is better and the team unit works better, but the team unit doesn't always score goals. Individually, somebody committing a player, two players doubling up on ASM, creating space elsewhere. That's what will create chances. In this season alone, he was brilliant against Everton in the previous game. He's won his points in games that haven't been where we deserved nothing from. Man United scores a great goal. Leeds, great goal.
Watford.
Yeah. So I don't know. He's been injured, and because we've ridden the crest of a bit of a wave for a while, I think people have jumped on that, and he's been easy to target when things haven't gone so well since then. Which has been 2 games, and people go mad. I mean, it's the meltdown on Twitter is like, if you offered Newcastle these 12 games, whatever it's been, that are bitten your arm off, that are gone, honestly, sold the house for it.
Yeah, we'd be like, whatever, I'm just a yes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Wife? Yeah, take her. So, yeah, it's like, but now people are like, oh, yeah.
She can't hear you.
She don't listen, man.
I mean, she definitely doesn't listen, so it's all right.
Now people are like, starting to sort of have a bit of a moan, a bit of a whinge, just really get a grip, man. It's been an amazing run of form.
Yeah. Just need to enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Newcastle fans just...
So we got beat at Chelsea, who are champions of the frigging world, and we got beat against a late goal after 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah. So...
Behave, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the goal. What did you make of the goal?
It's poor, like.
Yeah.
It's poor.
Like, Iwobi took past Dan Burn, which...
Dan Burn doesn't need to go in there, like. Leggy.
I was going to say that I thought he was looking a little bit tired. He almost shot out the line a little bit. He could have held his ground, but based on what Dan Burn's done over the last 6 or 7 games, like he's been our best defender. So
there's been 2 times where he's been. People are saying he's been at fault. I've seen some people on Twitter saying he's been at fault for 2. He wasn't at fault for the goal at Chelsea.
That was just immaculate.
It was just an
play.
Amazing pass. It was just an outrageous pass and a wonderful first touch.
Yeah.
Like 9 games out of 10, the striker either tries that first time, Havertz, and doesn't get it right, or scores a wonder goal, fair enough.
Yeah.
Or he takes a touch that isn't perfect and he can get back in.
Yeah.
And the pass, probably 98 times out of 100, the pass isn't quite perfect.
There's not many players can play that ball over.
It's so perfect, by the way.
So if anything, Dan Burns, if you wanted to, he's more fault for the goal at Everton.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He doesn't go in there.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He can just hold back. They're still like 30 yards out at the point, but he commits himself, creates the hole, which gives like the 1-2. So that was my first thing. Dan Burn, as much as we love, Big Dan Burn.
Big Dan Burn, yeah. He's just Dan Burn now. When he a couple of mistakes, he's just Dan Burn.
But then Dubravka, do you think he could...
He's going one way, good first touch fin. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's few keepers in the world save that. Like cross him, going the other way. Doesn't need to be in the corner when you wait to go one way and it's first time.
Just let Amanda know which ones we'll buy him over summer.
Probably an Allison fella or
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's much. Yeah, I don't think there's much in that.
No. Okay. But yeah, apart from the game, I haven't really got much else to say on it. It was a average, poor game. Two teams which weren't at it and
red card.
Sorry,
Is the red card a red card?
Nah, I'm yellow card.
It's given because he's totally off the ground there. You can't, in the rules of the game, he can't be out of control. And regardless of what you say, he has jumped he might be 2-footed, but he's completely off the ground, and he has jumped off the ground. That's why it's been given. Because imagine if ASM's foot is standing, and he's getting clattered with all the weight because you're not on the floor, he's completely off the ground. So that's why it's given. So I can't understand why it's given. I don't like seeing it given because I think it's.
Yeah, so I'm the same because I put on Twitter it wasn't a red card and someone said the same thing. If Maxi hasn't jumped, that's like it's a nasty.
You'd be
tackle.
chuffed to bits because we play Miggy and Murphy every week. So
yeah, but I see where it's coming from. To the letter of the law, probably red. But to me, I don't want to see all them given like he's gotten to clip him to stop him counter attacking, and I don't think he's gone in there with any. I don't think he's gone to hurt him.
It's Matt. I think that I don't think there was a huge amount in the Havertz thing, but it's Matt. I think elbowing someone in the head and cutting open someone's head is not a red card, but potentially could have hypothetically if somebody didn't take a step.
That could have been nasty.
Yeah, so therefore you're getting sent off, or hypothetically maybe.
So if he never jumped and you did catch him, I don't think you meant to.
Yeah.
Because the ref's almost like I don't think you meant to, but on the off chance you did catch him, that's a red card. You elbowed him straight in the head and cut his head open, yellow.
No, it's absolutely nuts, isn't it?
But to wonder if VAR, if there wasn't these mad VAR decisions, we'd literally have nothing to talk about, like just goals and.
We'll just be you and I going at Maxi all.
Pro and anti Maxi boy anyway.
And then, do you want to go into some of the day? I was going to say the comments of Hayden.
Yes, we leave the Everton game. If anybody wants anything to say about the Everton game, it's really boring, so I wouldn't bother. But you feel free, drop something in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the Everton game, and going forward to our next game, which we with Tottenham away. Would you be bringing Maxi back into the start 11?
We'll maybe do a bit of that at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. But Hayden says good, like something like good effort against 12 men, or words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And then the FA have come out this week or today, I think it was actually, and said that he's got like X amount of days to respond. He's going to get disciplined.
It's madness.
I don't want to say the word sanctioned because I think that has bigger connotations these days, but he's getting some sort of discipline.
I'm glad you said that because I was trying to think of a word around sanction because it's definitely got a bigger meaning over the past like 3 or 4 weeks, hasn't it?
So he's getting some sort of discipline.
So one thing which made me laugh today is someone, one Newcastle account shared the post on Twitter, and I retweeted it as well, and the page it's come from, have you actually seen it? It's called FA spokesperson.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I was like, what on earth is the FA spokesperson? But it's basically, it is a FA spokesperson which has no name, just makes posts of all the stuff the FA have sanctioned. And I was going down, it's like Crawley Town in the 44th minute being found like £700 for not controlling their players in the 43rd minute, and there's just all this like mad stuff. And then
I'll give that a follow that.
Yeah, FA spokesperson. If you want to read the nonsense that the FA come up with. Yeah,
I mean, what do you make of that?
I get it. Players can't say that.
So they're calling into question the integrity of an official, or questioning them on an individual level.
Look,
which you can't do, which a professional in the game can't do. However, there's a wider question: is we got to hear something from referees. You can't have referees just. We need explanations of fact. Like this is there's more money in this league than there is in most sports in the world.
Yeah.
And it's the way it's refereed is just sometimes it is just I mean, if you think of the last couple of Newcastle's last two games, the Allen one is like, all you want to hear is somebody come out and say he was sent off because he was out of control. At this point, he's mid-air, 8 foot off the ground, trying to go max his head. He's out of control.
Yeah,
he's getting a red card. I didn't give Havertz a red card because I didn't think he meant it, and I didn't think
this was a penalty.
Sorry, I thought this was. I didn't think
the Murphy one.
The Murphy. I didn't think this was a penalty because I think he really liked Murphy's shirt, and if Chalobah wants Murphy's shirt, he can have whatever he wants. So therefore, it's not a pen.
And also Chelsea at home.
Yeah, and also Chelsea on the top 6. So there you go. So yeah, but we want that, and you and I've said this on multiple pods that like. You hear it. It's done the TMO in rugby. You hear it how it's done in cricket. Really, really in cricket, like they literally go like step by step. No, I want to see if his fingers on the ball. Can you give me another angle? I think he might have edged that. Can you just see this?
But both sports. So cricket for one, I'll say, show me another angle, run it slower, play it again. Does he do this? Does he do that? Rugby, for anyone who follows the rugby, you'll know this. They'll be like, okay, so is there excessive force? Is it above the shoulder, like for a high tackle? And you go through a certain point of questions where if this is the question, it goes to the next one. If it's this one, it goes this one. And there's just a yes, no. So it comes to the conclusion. A flow chart where you ask a certain set of questions and there's a red card. But you can hear the whole conversation. Whereas VR's like, it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea. No penalty.
Look, he's all over his shirt, right? But it's Chelsea and that's Newcastle, and we hope they go down. So no penalty. Yeah, so that's all. So either we need to be able to hear. I don't think refs. I would like refs to be mic'd up, but football's terrified of what like people like referee and this and that. So
but then that would create more respect, though.
I agree, but they're terrified of that, and they're terrified of how the brand can be perceived, which I get. But all I want to hear is the conversation between ref and VAR. That's all I want to hear. How do you get that result? Right, John, this is like, he's done this, he's done, I think you should have a look at this, and here's why. Have a little look, go to the monitor, and then them having a conversation at the monitor. Right, can you see this here? I think this is this. He's pulling them here. Right, he's not pulling them there. I think he's dived. Not enough contact. Fine, stick with decision. Great. That's all I want to hear. And if we don't hear that, so my first choice would be mic'd up and hear everything, including the conversation. If not, just the VAR conversations around when the ref is getting told something.
Yeah.
And then the third choice is at least having referees having some sort of. I don't want to hear like they're they don't want to be interviewed after the game. Like, why did you give that decision? You know, like I don't think they need to be that. But they put together a match report. Why can't we see the match report? Why can't we see the match report? Why can't we see? Why can't we see? Or at least bits of the incidents we want to see. Red cards, offsides or maybe offside, things like that. Why can't we see that on match reports? That's yeah.
So if they brought that, where the referees were mic'd up, one referee would reverse his decision today. Have you seen what's come out?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Mike Dean announced he's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Mike Dean getting more chance to speak live onto the millions?
And Mike Dean wants one of the mics that are like one.
Be like Britney Spears, you know, and all the girls over young had the straws.
Mike wants like speakers. 1 2 1 2. Big Mike Dean.
I'm alive. Yeah, okay. There's a camera on me, right?
Yeah, I did. To be honest with you, I'm absolutely delighted because he's an odd and frankly just bemusing referee sometimes. One thing you have to say about Mike Dean, like he must have some mental strength because he gives zero.
He doesn't care.
He gives zero shit about anything else. As he's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care if you're like multi-millionaire superstar. I think you dived, so no.
He loves it even more. Like the bigger the profile, like,
yeah,
not interested.
So I'm glad to see the back of Mike Dean though. He'll probably be FA lead referee in no time.
Yeah, I'm sure we're winning. The holiday, which some people have described it as.
Yeah, I don't.
So Newcastle, if anyone doesn't know, Newcastle's in Dubai at the moment. They've got like the international break, and some fans are saying, why should they be rewarded? So we had, was it James?
Yeah, James Bell on Twitter. So we just asked a couple of questions about what people should bring up, and James had mentioned if why should Newcastle be rewarded with time away when it comes to after a couple of defeats.
So I get it where you can be frustrated, but at the same time, my thought is like we play in the Premier League, which is the most competitive football league in the world.
Yeah,
they've gone on a run which has probably changed the fortune of the next 2 years. Of Newcastle. Like if they didn't go on this run, they'd be playing the Championship, and
quite possibly, yeah.
And we've got to go back. The Everton game showed this. I think we looked leggy. So if we go away for, if you want to bring us along, we'll definitely come on. Take the lads away for a couple of weeks to rest, like get out of the limelight or whatever, and recharge the batteries. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because then they come back refocused.
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think it's incredibly short-sighted to see his like holiday and reward.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few facets. First of all, you have to look back to the previous trip, which pre-4 when Newcastle went to Saudi Arabia, there was a lot of they're taking them away, they better go and have success, and then we absolutely smashed it. It's coming back, and no one mentioned that breakaway, but clearly that breakaway did some good work because Newcastle came back and we improved, and not just in results, but we were better as a team. The press was better, the energy levels were better.
One good thing that came from that Saudi trip is that game they played where Kieran Clark smacked the player on the ground who's never been seen since.
Yeah.
That's definitely helped our defensive record.
Yeah. No? If Eddie Howe was on, is that Kieran Clark a numpty or not? Aye. Yeah, it's definitely a numpty. So, So if that's anything to go off, first of all, if we can rekindle a lot of that kind of spirit and cohesion and kind of refresh legs like we did in the first trip, then this will be beneficial. And it's not about kind of holiday, and it's also context. As you say, we're looking leggy. We only have a small squad. 3 games in 7 days. 1 away at the European and World Champions. And 1 at a team absolutely scrapping for their lives at home. And we were on the run of... Was it 10 unbeaten?
9.
9 unbeaten?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's got a bit... I do get what James is saying, but from my point of view, I'm like, yeah, there's got to be some context out of that.
Yeah. Positive thing is as well that there's news come out today that by the Palace game, which is the 20th of April, so in 4 games' time, they're looking at getting Trippier and Wilson back for the back end.
I know. So what we're going to have left then? We're going to have 4 games left towards the end of the season.
Yeah, so what, we're 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, so they'll come back game 33.
So 5 games left.
Yeah. So you'd hope to think them two coming back, it'd make sure we get over the line.
Is it strange to say that who's more important? Is Wilson more important? I mean, clearly Trippier has been unbelievable, hasn't he? But
yeah, I think his
calmness,
his leadership, the way like he's obviously had an effect on the team, like
the way he uses the ball, so he's great in possession, by the way, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's great in possession. He's obviously got great technique, corners, free kicks, like obviously shooting from a free kick, but also just putting the ball in the box for a free kick. But clearly he's always been a great cross of the ball, even in open play.
Mm-hmm.
But he's even great at like pushing the ball into midfield from like fullback. Instead of just like Kraft's hump down the line or anything like that, he loves to ping it into midfield. That's great, that.
He's playing in the World Cup, the Euros now. We've got to semi-final, final.
Mm-hmm.
He won the league with Atletico Madrid. Was named in Team of the Year.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get into all them...
Like, Simeone changed his team to fit him in to get him to play.
Exactly. You don't get into all them positions and all them opportunities in your career unless you can help alter teams. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
I think if you had a choice, you can only have 1 of them back for the rest of the season, Trippier or Wilson. I'd be like Trippier every day. Yeah.
The only thing I'm questioning is that as good as Mark Wood has Chris Wood, Christ alive, Chris Wood has been. As good as Chris Wood has been, we have looked. We can be toothless, a little bit toothless. He's got 1 goal, albeit a very good goal.
But look how what winning ratio.
No, I agree with that.
I know obviously there's a lot of other components as well, but
we're going to get them both back anyway, so it's a bit of a moot point. But yeah, I mean, if they're...
I'm just trying to think hypothetical, like, create a conversation, Jan, but if you want to cut it off there, right, catch you next week.
What I will say about them is they're arguably are two most important players, really.
Okay.
I'm potentially with Dan Burners. I know he's made a couple of errors or whatever, but he's just how he's changed the way the back, and maybe Trippier, and then Shaw, he's pretty good as well.
So for the sake of conversation, Jan, you can only have one back.
Trippier.
Yeah.
Okay. Still Trippier.
Okay, cool.
That target, I know it's kind of resurfaced again. £50 million looks like it's. I was actually reading in Birmingham paper online that it looks like it could potentially be done.
What are you reading Birmingham papers for?
Well, he's from Villa, isn't he? So he's a.
Right, okay.
So it was.
I thought you meant like you like just regular.
The Birmingham broadsheets.
Yeah. just
I'll put my Peaky Blinders hat on and sit and smoke loads. I was reading that. It came up on Twitter, and I was. You definitely pay that, wouldn't you?
15 million for all day long.
He's been class, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Super solid.
Class. Absolutely class. So I've got some interesting stats here for you.
All right, come on then.
Go on. So this is from the Premier League app.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Minutes played in the Premier League this season.
Right.
So I've got the top 7
in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
No, the top 7 players from Watford. So these are the top 7 players who's played the most minutes in the Premier League this season. 2 of them, I'll give you a clue, 2 of them haven't played all the minutes at Newcastle. So, top 7, I got bored of scrolling down the list, I've got the top 7 here.
Okay.
So, number 1.
Target.
So, the numbers, the minutes available was 2,700, I think, off the top of my head. Sarr, he's played the most minutes in the Premier League.
Who?
Keeper.
Oh, right, okay. I think that Ishmael Sarr was like...
No.
We haven't seen him for about fucking 10 weeks.
No, just to give you... That was
right, okay.
Just to give you like a number at the top. So
okay.
2,700. He played the most minutes in the Premier League.
That's a benchmark, okay.
Yeah. So, who is you going for as our top 7?
Matt Target.
So, Matty Target is second.
Dan Burn.
So, Matty Target has got 2,063. And he was number 2. Dan Burn, nope.
Interesting, okay. John Joe.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah. It shows you how much...
That's crazy. I definitely thought... okay, so I wouldn't have thought Dubravka. He didn't play all at the start of the season. Not Maxi. How am I struggling so much?
we haven't got a big squad to pick from. If you say a name, it's a good chance you're going to win there. Maxi, yes.
Really? Even he's been...
So Maxi is number 3 with 2,046 minutes, but he's actually our player who's played the most minutes and only been at Newcastle.
Right,
so that's a bit of a hint. The person who was number 1 was a transfer in. Chris Wood, yeah. So Chris Wood, 2,277.
Obviously
so your top 3, you got Wood, you got Maxi. Sorry, you got Target and you got Maxi.
Is Lascelles still played?
Lascelles is 6th.
Yeah.
1,695. This is 1,000 minutes off where we should be, which is the point I'm going to raise afterwards.
Okay, so I was surprised at Shelby. Willock might have actually, Willock, yeah.
He's 5, 1,761.
So how many got there? 3 more to find? 2 more to find?
2 more to find, yeah.
2 more to find.
You remember Shelby didn't play a great deal under Bruce at the start. Remember he went out of favour with him for quite a bit. And Eddie brought him back in.
Yeah.
How
not Manquillo, sure. Manquillo?
No.
Dubravka?
Nah. Who's our player of the season so far?
Oh, Big Joe!
Yeah.
I thought he didn't play in the Bruce though.
He was playing left wing.
Up front.
He was playing left wing, obviously. Left wing.
So Big Joe,
1,881.
And last.
Our newest captain.
No way, sure.
Yeah, 1,691. So the reason I was mentioning this, right? So bear in mind the number of minutes you can play is 2,700, and our number one player, who's just been in Newcastle, is Maxi. He's 700 minutes below. So it shows you, there's numbers there. It shows you how much.
What's that?
700 minutes. So what?
8 games off or something.
Yeah, so it shows you how much we rotate players or pick up injuries.
Yeah.
Whereas Eddie Howe has had a pretty solid team, but before that, it made you think, like, I know Bruce only had them training once a fortnight, but how many...
Maybe the kebabs aren't good for you after all.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There will probably be some... there will probably be Lascelles and Clark, who were mainstays, and Kraft, who were mainstays under Bruce.
Yeah.
And then haven't played as much since. Longstaff played quite a bit of football under Bruce as well.
You'd probably think of, like, Bruce's starting 11 could probably play against Eddie Howe's starting 11.
Yeah, absolutely bad, wouldn't
You think what it was... I know the Dubravka was injured at the start, but it's almost like a different starting 11, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like a different team, doesn't it? I mean, it certainly feels like a complete...
Who would it be? It would be... it was Dallow on goal. You'd have Lascelles centre-half with...
Kraft. With Clark, sorry, yeah.
You'd have Kraft right back. Left back would be Richie. Yeah, no, what were we doing then? Or what was Bruce doing? Midfield would have Longstaff and Hayden played a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
On the wings at this point, or what even formation was he playing? Another couple of centre halves chucked in there. No, he obviously had Maxi on the left. Played Miggy on the right, and then
Callum Wilson up top.
Like, you think that's starting 11 there? How many were playing?
We played that centre half, didn't you? Freddy Fernandez.
Yeah, sorry.
Because it was like 3. It was like.
Do you think that 11...
I was gonna say it was 3-5. It was 5. It was 5 at the back.
Yeah.
It wasn't 3 at the back.
But from that starting 11, bar Maxi, no one else played. And obviously we bought some players.
And Callum Wilson would play him, yeah.
So that's maybe where you can see we've...
Yeah, it is. Yes, no, actually it's interesting, isn't it?
Mm. And
like the Chelsea, I know we got beaten in Chelsea, and we were absolutely robbed. But in that Chelsea game, that has been the for me is the stark contrast between previous manager and between Eddie Howe, because we might have gone and only got beat 1-0 at Chelsea under Bruce, but we'd have been deep, we'd have been defensive, we'd have given the ball away, we'd have been frustrating to watch, it would have been Pepperidge Farm, Dubravka's making 10 saves, so like that's the biggest that game is the biggest change for me. It's not it's not like Everton where we've beaten like 3-1 where we look great, like, because sometimes the odd game we would look really good under Bruce. There was the odd game where we played, well, not this season actually, to be fair, but that game is the one that is, you just don't get that performance at all under Bruce. So yeah, we're gonna get into Neymar.
Oh yeah,
you see the Neymar chat?
Neymar, yeah. Do you see that Newcastle fans are deluding we're a big club, and all of a sudden, was it the Daily Mail that reported it first that Newcastle's making a £200 million bid for Neymar?
It's just not happening, man.
Like, I don't even know what to say about this, because all Newcastle fans have laughed about it, but then anyone else who's not a Newcastle fan has laughed at Newcastle fans for saying that we claim we signed Neymar, but it wasn't even us. Plus, I wouldn't want to spend our summer's budget on Neymar.
Nah. I mean, he may have done it when he's leaving Barca, but...
Yeah, but not now.
He only plays like 40% of the season these days.
Like would he get in the starting 11? Like,
what is he going to play?
And I'm not sure we get ahead
of him. Is he going to do the hard yards Ryan Fraser does? I don't think so.
but yeah, Newcastle, they need to build a huge squad first before they start bringing in the marquee players.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So yeah, we can park that straight away, and then the next 5 games, Jan. So I know
busy.
I know we've got a bit of a break, so we'll be going into more detail over the next week's pod to go over these. But Tottenham on the 3rd of April is the next one that we've been looking for. And the only other point I've got to raise is Harry Maguire got picked in the England squad ahead of Big Dan Burn.
Yeah.
I know it's never
Self-kiss favourites, man. Self-kiss.
Yeah, it's never going to happen, but he's just got to drop that pick some form.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. Is it?
Yeah, that wraps up, mate. Anything else you want to bring up?
No, that's it.
Yeah, so thank you for downloading, thank you for subscribing. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're smashing the subscribe button, and make sure you're sharing, let all your friends know about us. We are on Twitter, we are on TikTok as well. You got us on there?
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, we'll catch you videos, few bits and pieces on there.
I need to catch us on Spotify too. But as always, thank you very much. Leave your comments, let us know what you think we've got right, what we've completely got wrong, and we'll definitely jump in the comments and message you back. But if you want to catch us on Twitter, is NUFC Talk, and if you want to get me, it's Glen_NUFC.
At Yanis NUFC.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week on the channel. Cheers.